Hey there, sports fans. I was going through some of my gear the other day and I got to wondering, what does everybody else use for fire starters? And I just wondering what you guys think. I'll show you some of what I got. You can comment in the comments and tell me what you got. Maybe we'll be able to share some info back and forth. Okay, so here's an assortment of the stuff that I have packed around with me at different times. Go over what I like and don't like about it, and be interesting to hear from you guys in the comments what you think about different things and maybe what you use. Maybe you can teach me something. Okay, there's always the old school matches, the old strike anywhere matches, getting pretty hard to find. There's all kinds of little waterproof containers you can carry around. This is a little whistle I carry like in the canoe. Carry a few matches in there. Got a little compass on the top, it's pretty handy. Put them in a little Altoids tin or whatever, pack them around. But strike anywhere matches of any quality, like these, all the little white tips fell off while they were in the box and they don't work. And the strike on the box matches tend to be cheap and hard to light. Come in different sizes. Not a real big fan of those. Keep them in the camper or maybe someplace like that for backup. Stormproof matches, I like those, but they usually come in a little box, something like that. So I found a little tin I can keep them in, keep them out of the water and a little more rugged. Still use matches a little bit, but like I said, finding the strike on the box matches is easy, but finding the strike anywhere matches that are of very good quality is getting almost impossible to do. Next thing I like to use is I like to play around. Not very good at it yet, but I'm learning. It's the old traditional flint and steel spark ferro rod method. First thing I had to learn is the ferro rods come with a finish on it, and you have to scrape the finish off down before you get much for good sparks. So once I figured that out, it went a little easier. This is just one that you can get just about anywhere. I like these. These are pretty cool. You push them down, they're spring loaded, make a pretty good spark, but they don't travel very well and they break pretty easy in cold weather like that one. This one's pretty cool. Pyro putty kind of comes out with this one. You can take your pyro putty and like this stuff and store it in the handle. Works pretty good. But if you're going to use flint and steel, like these, this is kind of expensive. These were like 10 bucks. I had pretty good luck with just a regular old welder's striker. They run about $7 or $8, and the flints are replaceable. The replacement flints cost about $5, and they make spark every time. I like them. The other thing about having flint and steel is you got to have char cloth, some kind of tinder like lint, a little bag full of fat wood would help, and this is where my homemade fire starter helpers come in. Egg carton ones or the makeup cleaner ones. This is some more pyro putty. Also these little jewels, little tightly packed rolls of cotton with I don't know, they're commercially available. So it's got some kind of paraffin packed in there, and they burn pretty good. Or this is just regular lip balm. Lip balm, you can smear it around. It's mainly wax. It'll help a lot too. Thing I found with this is I'm not very good with it yet, and it takes a lot of patience, and I really can't rely on it in an emergency situation yet because I'm pretty clumsy at it. It takes a lot of time to develop the skill to do that, and I haven't quite made it to that part yet. All right, I really like Zippo lighters and like these little trench lighters that have a windlass match in it. They're pretty good. I've got one like that I carry on my pickup key rings. Only thing is, with Zippos or these old style trench lighters or these little windproof matches that are actually pretty much like that, they just have a wick down in them and you strike it on a little strip on there. Got to keep handy dandy lighter fluid around, and the Zippos, I don't smoke or anything, so I don't use them every day, 2 or 3 times a day like a smoker would, so they're almost always a little dry, so I always got to make sure I wet them down, the wicks down with the lighter fluid before I go out on a trip. And there's also quite a bit of maintenance to do with flints and wicks and stuff like that. But if you're willing to take the time to maintain them right, they're perfect. These on the key ring, I really like those. This one is cool, but it's not always the most dependable one, and the wick is really temperamental, hard to get a strike. These are good as long as you keep the top screws off. Makes a little wick, I'll show you. Okay, you can see it's got a little wick there, lights, strikes on that little side of the bottle. These are pretty handy. They're pretty good in the wind, and then in the jam they're pretty good. And I always have them with my pickup key rings and on my side-by-side key rings. And makes for a nice backup. I think everybody's got some kind of form of a Bic lighter floating around. Some of them got the little longer ones that they do for the candle lighting, or the ones with a really long snout like that. They're handy for barbecues and lighting candles and stuff like that. You can wrap duct tape around them, these little Bics like that, and the duct tape will burn. These things are pretty dependable. You can find them everywhere, they're pretty cheap. The only drawback to butane is when it gets down below 20 degrees Fahrenheit or so, yeah, it doesn't make very good vapors, and sometimes they're not that dependable in cold weather. You have to spend a lot of time warming them up, putting them up close to your body, carrying them somewhere where they don't get cold. If you have them in an outside pocket on a pack and it's below zero, chances are you're not going to get much but spark out of them. You'll still make a spark, but they might not make a flame. So, always got to have a few Bics around. And you got to have a few rechargeable butane ones. Something like this I carry around in my camper just in case I need it for repairs. They're pretty handy. You can recharge it. Got to keep a can of butane around. Little ones like this used to be real popular in the gas stations. They work. Theoretically, they're refillable. But it's the same as the Bics. If it's cold weather, they don't. This is a really nice quality one my wife got me, and that thing will make a big flame. It makes almost as big a torch as my little torch does. I really love that. But same thing. Cold weather, not so good. If you can warm them up, they're wonderful. Okay, so no matter what you use to light the original part, I find it pretty helpful to have some helpers. These little roll-up cotton things, you can untwist them, and they burn pretty good. These are some of the fire starters I made. I really like them. You can light these with I've tried lighting them with the flint and steel, and I've never been able to successfully light that. But with a match or a lighter or anything, once you get them burning, then you can wave them around in the wind and they don't go out. And it's a lot better than burning your finger with your Zippo when you're trying to light something. This Pyro putty is really good stuff. They make it different formulations for different weather conditions, different temperatures. You can tell by the colors on it. I think the blue stuff is the stuff that's for cold weather. It's basically waxy petroleum distillate kind of stuff, and the blue stuff has got a little stuff that evaporates a little more quicker and burns a little easier. Usually carry around a bag full of. I thought this was fat wood, but it turns out it's just some dry shavings from a project I was working on. I think there's a few cedar ones in there, which are really good. Duct tape works really good in a pinch. You can wrap it around the lighter, like we said. But if you're going to wrap it around the lighter, I would cut it into strips or links before you wrap it. That way you don't have to unwrap the whole thing and try to tear it. But if you take enough tape to go around the around the lighter and cut it and then wrap it, then you can pull off a piece that'll end up being 3 or 4 inches long, and it'll come off. You won't have to strip it when your hands are cold. It'll be good. I use a lot of these little cotton wafers, like I've got a video showing you how to make, or these little egg carton ones. They work really good. Or one of the things that I carry around in my car, a little bottle of hand sanitizer, Purell. This stuff, if you look, it's 70% alcohol. Alcohol burns really good. So if you've got some old dryer lint in a sack and squirt this on it and drop some kind of flame on it, match, lighter, spark, whatever, it'll take off and go like crazy. Only have to be careful with the alcohol. Is kind of a clear flame, so if it's a bright day, you might not know it's burning. You might stick your fingers in something that's on fire when you really didn't mean to. A little candle works good. This is a little candle lantern. I got a bunch of these little tea light candles. These are great for fire starters too. You can light them, stick them underneath there. Stuff's a little soggy or something, helps coax it along. So that's kind of what I got. If you've got something different, let me know. We'll talk about it in the comments. Go out there and have some fun. So go out there and hang around the campfire, have some fun, be safe. Remember, like and subscribe, help me grow the channel. See ya.